One in the chat if you could hear me. One in the chat if you can hear me. What's going on, Jimmy? Oh man, what's going on, kid? Kid Gravity in the building. Yo, it's 26 degrees right now, yo. 26 degrees right now. And both of y'all are in warmer climates than I'm in. All I see is frost. All I see is frost on everything. My truck's still trying to thaw. Bruh. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, yo. Times like this, yo. I'm telling you, times like this, I wish I was in, like, in Atlanta or Texas or Arizona or something like that. Somewhere it don't get no fucking 26 degrees outside. Let them eat cake, butter, caramel to be exact. It's 40 over there? Damn, I ain't know I got that cold in Texas. I'm sitting here thinking like y'all probably, most of y'all might get it like 50s. Damn, I ain't know I got that cold over there. It's 31 in Atlanta? Damn. Oh shit, I guess y'all kind of in the same boat with me. You know what I mean? Anyway, I appreciate you guys jumping in. If you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream. Let people know we live. You catching that replay? Leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. The question of the day. The question of today is, just like in the title of the stream, are we seeing conservative cancel culture now? Or has it always been a thing? Has it always been a thing? I want to know. So, what's her name? The chick from Harvard, Claudine Gay. So she resigns amid some scandal about plagiarism. Now, I think this is just a power move by the college to kind of make it look like they're taking a stance on some shit. You know what I mean? She was sacrificed. I'm sure she gets a nice pension. I'm sure they set her up real nice before she quote unquote resigned. You know, and I'm sure she'll move on to another academic institution where she will receive another bag. Where she will receive another bag. But the crazy part is that you had conservatives calling for a job over some shit that she did like how many years ago? Some plagiarism that she did how many years ago on like a thesis or some shit like that. Now, morally that's stupid. You know what I mean? Be smart about it at least. If you're gonna plagiarize some shit, put it in your own fucking words. Put it in your own words, goddammit. I'm sure we all did a little plagiarism back in the day, back in high school or something like that. I'm sure we all shit. There's plagiarism going on X right now. People stealing people takes. We don't call Unc the tweet burglar for nothing, but at least he cites. Oh no, Unc don't never cite his sources. Unc don't never cite his sources. What up, Sauce? Sauce said he. If I take somebody's tweet, I gotta give him the credit. You'll see me put it down the bottom. You know, or back in high school, if I was take somebody's words, I would put such and so once said, or something like that. Or I just put the shit in my own name, in my own words. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what are we doing? We're all regurgitating some shit that we learned from somebody else, right? We hear it all the time. You got a lot of these conservative commentators, and we know who you are. They come and take our takes. They'll come and take our takes, but we're all regurgitating for the most part some shit that we heard somebody else say. It's just what it is. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Claudine Gay, she's resigned. I'm pretty sure that was some political bullshit. However, like I said, you got the conservative movement. They were calling for her to be, to be canceled, to be fired, and all this other stuff, right? But we're supposed to be uh, advocates for free speech, right? Advocates for this, advocates for that, advocates. Jeez, I can't even talk today. Advocates of against the woke cancel mob, quote unquote, right? But here we are trying to cancel somebody. You know, it's one thing to just call the shit out. You know what I mean? Like, damn, Shorty ain't on. She was plagiarizing, and then but to sit there and go, she needs to lose her job, and to sit there and advocate for her losing. Damn, traffic crazy. Sit there and advocate for her to lose her job. Come on, guys. When we rail against that shit, you know what I mean? Now look, I'm not saying I'm on this lady's side now. Not. I don't know her from Adam. I didn't watch the congressional shit. I think I covered like when they asked them about calling for the genocide of the landlords, if that was considered anti-Semitic. I think I covered that, but I think cancel culture is ridiculous, and I think a lot of us can agree with that. Like I said, sunshine is the best disinfectant, right? We shouldn't have to cancel people, right? We should let the market, or we should let the court of public opinion dictate that. So let's just say, I don't know, such and so, who might be a prominent figure on whatever side, got caught on tape saying some ill shit, right? Okay. And let's just say it got leaked to the news. Hey, such and so said this. The news reports on it. And then let it be that. If people still like that person, then they'll rock with them. People don't like that person, they'll walk away from them. But to sit there and force them to lose their jobs is an issue, in my opinion. For example, like Don Imus. Y'all remember Don Imus with the nappy-headed hoe shit? What's up? What's going on, guys? I remember Don Imus with the nappy-headed hoe comment? I thought the shit was fucking hilarious. We got Protocol in the building. We got DMW in the building. What's the deal? Sauce. But yeah. I thought the shit was hilarious, but cancel culture, that's when it really started, guys. Cancel culture really started back then. Cancel culture is what happens when you have no ideas. What is that? Ideas or plan to combat the opposition. Yeah, that's it. Right? Like, you can counter something, but the call for somebody to lose their job is ridiculous, right? So, for example, in my opinion, you got the ladies with the conservative calendar, right? Now, I know Bryson started that shit, but then you had other conservatives jumping on the bandwagon. Oh, this is debaucherous. Oh, this is reprehensible. I can't believe it. They aren't real conservative women, and da 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 da, right? And I'm like, if you don't like it, then you ain't got to buy the fucking calendar. Don't sit here and try and get these women, quote unquote, canceled or chastised for countering the left's trans feminist movement, I guess you would call it. Because that's all they were doing. That's all I see that calendar as. They're countering that trans feminist movement. They're countering, Hershey with their Hershey campaign that they did at this time last year with a trans woman. They're countering Bud Light, right, with their campaign they did with Dylan Mulvaney. You know, they're countering these things and they're saying, look, we're real natural women and this is, you know, look, see our beauty. That's all it is. But you got conservative, you know, the conservative crowd, some of the conservative crowd, I'll say, up in arms over it, saying that the calendar shouldn't be a thing. And it's like, yo, it's not that serious. Leave it alone. If you don't like it, don't fucking buy it. You know, then they want to jump on the lady with the, what's her name, yo? Who was HJ talking about yesterday? The chick with the heavies. Who was the chick with the heavies? Isabella something. Her shirt's too form fitting while she's baking that cake. She probably was thirst trapping a little bit, but who cares? If you don't like it, then don't subscribe to her. Don't follow her on Twitter or wherever. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's always been that simple. That's why I never understood cancel culture. Why do you want to get somebody canceled? If you don't like the content, then don't partake in the content. Simple as that. Don't partake in the content. I hope we're not saying no conservative cancel culture on the rise. Like I always say, the pendulum got to swing the other way, people. That should have come back to bite us in the ass. As far as this lady Claudine Gay, all right, you called it out. Hey, she plagiarized back in the day, and then leave it at that. Leave it at that. If the school, because the school only responded because of the outrage. The only reason the school responded is because of the outrage. That's it. If the school would have kept it, then the school would have kept it. School would have dropped it, it would have dropped it. But let it be, you know, let it be that. Don't force somebody to lose their job. Ideological leanings are. Just log off. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Just log off. That's all you got to do. That shit crazy. That's why I say. That's why I say what I say. That's why I say what I want to say. I don't care about the cancel culture. I don't know how many times I got dropped from YouTube or whatever. It doesn't matter. You know. Shit crazy to me. You log the fuck out. That's it. Stop trying to silence voices that you disagree with. We rail against it all the time, and then we want to turn around and do the same thing. Or they're just silencing conservative voices. They're silencing conservative voices. They're silencing conservative voices. They're trying to shut us up. They're shadow banning us, and then we turn around and try to get the same shit done to the opposite side, making us look like hypocrites, one-sided. Shit crazy. If there was any crime, it should have been more Kimberly Klacik pictures in there. I think part of this is hold on, take these glasses off. These glasses killing me. The sun busting my ass, but I can't read the shit. I think part of this is all get it while they can, Soon Hotep will be decentralized streams. Cancel culture won't work then. That's facts. That's facts. True Rev 3 will stop it. You think so? True Web 3? But yeah, I think that if cancel culture on the conservative movement, on the conservative side, is on the rise, we need to fucking squash that shit. Squash that shit. Call it out on both sides. You see somebody trying to cancel somebody on the left, call that shit out. You see somebody trying to cancel somebody on the right, call that shit out. Was that lady's interpretation of a call to action versus free speech a little flawed? Yeah, I think so. Should she have lost her job over it? No. Hell, we got a president in office right now who we know plagiarized on multiple occasions. It is a known fact that he plagiarized on multiple occasions. Is that he ain't fucking resigned yet? Ain't nobody calling for his resignation over that shit. Old Joe Nicholslick. Anyway, we got 12 in the building. Let's get 12 likes. So next week, they got more debates. This time it looked like it's going to be Ron DeSantis debating Nikki Haley. Damn, that sun is bright. God damn. We got Ron DeSantis debating Nikki Haley. And then apparently Trump going to have a town hall on Fox News next week as well. Now, they were calling Trump out because he's not participating in the debates directly. They're going to call it, for lack of a better term, like the way I took it, is that Fox News was calling him a coward for not going on these debates and standing toe-to-toe with these people, standing on his record. They want him to answer to why he added $8 trillion to the deficit. They want him to answer why he gave the country over to Fauci. They want him to answer for a bunch of shit, a bunch of dumb shit, right? Shit we already know the answer to. It is all for nothing, yo. I agree. It is all for nothing. And what I say to that, right, is Donnie T, keep doing what you doing, yo. Keep doing what you doing, bro. I wouldn't debate. I told y'all what I would do. I set up a little camera. I set up a mic. I set up a stream. Go picture in picture on them niggas. And I would do it that way if I was Donnie T. Just like how we commentate on the debates, I would do the same thing if I was Donnie T. Whether he used some big YouTuber or streamer, you know, to go on their show and rebut what he's hearing on the debates, or he did it on his own. I think his son got his own Rumble channel, so why not? You know what I mean? Yep, I think his son got his own Rumble channel, so why not? You know what I mean? Put it out to the people that way. You know why? For one, he would get more views than the debate itself. Two, he don't got to be constrained to a time limit where they got to cut him off so somebody else can answer him. He can pause that shit, talk his shit, and then hit play. And every time somebody took a jab at him, pause that shit, talk his shit, and hit play. That's what I would do. I wouldn't go to the debates. I want to know why Trump didn't build the wall like he said he was going to do. Pause, and then talk your shit. Answer that question the way you want to answer that question, and guess what? No moderator can stop you because you on your own time. I think that's a smart move right there. That's what I would do. But they trying to sabotage 2024, y'all. Make no mistake about it. They trying to sabotage 2024. And by golly, they're going to do it. By golly, they're going to do it. Either they're going to sabotage 2024 or there will be no 2024. If Donnie T, because they're going to overturn all of that shit in the Supreme Court. They're going to overturn all that shit in the Supreme Court. Oh, we want them off of the ballot for insurrection. We want the 14th Amendment levied upon Donald J. Trump. Damn. The traffic crazy out here. We want the 14th Amendment levied upon Donald J. Trump for some shit that he already been found innocent in doing. I'm telling y'all, it's bigger than him, y'all. It's bigger than him. If they can do that to him, they're gonna do it to any political adversary, no matter who it is. Like I said, RFK, they won't even give him Secret Service detail. Look at this shit, y'all. This is why people can't have good, nice shit. You see the car in front of me? That's an Audi A7. That is an Audi A7. That's one of my favorite cars, right? I would love to get me an Audi A7. I could probably get an Audi A7, but I just don't want no car payment right now. I got a nice sports car. I got my little truck. My wife got a nice Durango. This idiot behind me almost hit this other car behind me. But check it out. You see how much smoke is coming out of this Audi? Y'all see how much smoke is coming out of this Audi? That is a shame. You know what that tells me? That tells me either the person he bought that car from took dog shit care of it, or the person driving the car took dog shit care of that car. People want all these expensive ass cars, right? But they can't afford the fucking oil changes. They get some dude on the, some shade tree mechanic to do the oil change. They'll get some shade tree mechanic to do the oil change for them. Or whatever. All that fucking smoke tell me that engine ain't gonna last long. That engine ain't gonna last long in that nice ass car. Anyway. What up, Daisy girl? That's what that shit tell me. Anyway. So I was told, I didn't know, right? So shout out to Jay Pylon, Emmanuel Presley, guys in our fitness group. They were talking about, so Jay was like, hey, yo, there's a bunch of solar flares happening, and it's going to be the cause for a lot of earthquakes, right? It's going to be the cause for a lot of earthquakes because of these solar flares, right? Jay say that shit, then boom, we hear about Japan. Probably, but that shit is crazy. That's a dope ass car, right? It's a dope ass car, and that bitch got all this white smoke just spewing out the back of it. But them tent dark is a bitch though. Anyway, so lo and behold, boom, Jay say, yo, solar flares is happening. It's going to be a bunch of earthquakes. Boom, Japan happens. Then apparently there was an earthquake in New York. Apparently there was an earthquake here in Maryland, in Rockville. It must have been a small one because I didn't feel it in Baltimore. But apparently there was an earthquake in Rockville. And I think there was an earthquake somewhere else. Shit, Japan got hit like 3 times, right? No, they had the earthquake. Japan had the earthquake. They had the tsunami. and then like a passenger plane crashed. But I think they said everybody on the plane was okay. So you had the passenger plane crash, you had the earthquake, and then you had the tsunami in Japan. Right? Then you got the earthquake. I think they said it was an earthquake in what, New York or something, like a 1.7. And then you had a little earthquake here in Rockville. And apparently there's gonna be a bunch of earthquakes along fault lines for a little bit. We off to a hell of a start for 2024. We off to a hell of a start for 2024, y'all. Oh my goodness gracious. So it says 87s the LPS is I hope that's just condensation from the engine. No, it can't be. I'm on the highway, yo. That shit should have been gone. Russia had a 1.72. Damn. Japan had a series of earthquakes over a span of several hours. That's crazy. But yeah, we also a hell of a start for 2024, ain't we? I think that's a sign that it's going to get real crazy. What's going on, Joe Beard? What you say? 55 felt earthquakes daily around the world. 20,000 a year. Is that right? That's interesting. Like I said, we off to a hell of a start. Cali had one off the coast of Long Beach. That's crazy. I remember one earthquake here. This was like, when was that? 2011, I think it was, maybe. I think it might have been 2011. And that shit went all the way up the East Coast. There was an earthquake. It was so massive. It went up the East Coast. I think it started in Georgia and went all the way up to like Maine or something stupid. I remember that. I didn't feel it. I was driving and I didn't feel it. I got to this destination I was going to when I was working, and everybody outside. And I'm like, what the fuck everybody outside for? People looking crazy. I'm just getting work done, and then the people that I was helping was like, you didn't feel that earthquake? I'm like, nah, what you talking about? So then I jump on the phone, and then I see all the news and shit about an earthquake happening up the East Coast. It was crazy. But that's the only experience I had with an earthquake. But I don't know how to. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like this is what you call a bad omen. This is what you call a bad omen. Like I said, keep your head on the swivel. I got to holler at Jay still, see if Jay did his numbers for 2024. See if he did his numbers for 2024. Oh, man. So the Grifties are coming up, guys. The Grifties are coming up, I guess. Go to hotepnation.com and get your Grifties tickets if you can make it. hotepnation.com and get your Grifties tickets if you can make it. It's going to be a fun time. I heard it's going to be a star-studded event. Yours truly will be there, Uncle Hotep Jesus. I'm hearing Sam Tripoli going to be in the building. Can't wait to meet Sam Tripoli. Sam Tripoli was one of my red pills, yo. I used to listen to, and I still do listen to Tinfoil podcast. That was a daily listen of mine back, when I first like started really paying attention to shit. Alex Stein 99 has been confirmed. He's gonna be in the building. I can't wait to meet that guy. Oh yeah, we rolling deep, yo, to the Grifties. I'm trying to crash Jabari's restaurant after the fact. We're gonna throw Emmanuel behind the bar, get him bartending. We're gonna get Emmanuel bartending back there real quick. We're gonna take over the restaurant. Yeah, it's early morning grift. We were talking about conservative cancel culture, and is it a thing, or has it always been around? Pro said he said it's going down. He can't wait. Get your tickets, Joe. Grifties, we watched, watching it on the, if you want to get a sneak peek of how the Grifties go down, go to the Hotep Nation YouTube channel and check out the previous Grifties. Now we doing them live. Watch, once we do ours live, then everybody else is going to jump on the bandwagon and try to do a live award show. Daily Wire is going to probably try to do a live award show for their Fibbies, or whatever the fuck they was calling it. The Blaze will probably try to do the same thing. Who else did it? Fox didn't Gutfeld do something similar? But it's going to be fun, guys. And hey, you get there and you like the Grifties? Yeah, apparently tickets are live. I think AK got his Grifties tickets. But shit, if you like the Grifties, that's a sneak peek into HotepCon, how we do things at HotepCon, Make sure y'all get your tickets for that. You know this tunnel from anywhere? I take this tunnel every day, yo. Every day I take this tunnel. Some days I go around because that little $4 a day be adding up. That little $4 a day be adding up. Did that list get released yet? Did that list get released yet? Did that Epstein list get released yet? People still chomping at the bit for that Epstein. I told y'all wasn't that. I told y'all wasn't shit coming from that. I'm so glad that it's in a one lane. That's true. But the other one do be though. So the other tunnel, they always working on that shit. So I just came through the Fort McHenry tunnel. The Harbor tunnel though, that shit always is just one tube both ways, because they always working on the other tube, one or the other. That shit is annoying. I always try to avoid that tunnel. Always. But anyway, I told y'all wasn't nothing coming from that Epstein bullshit. I told you wasn't nothing coming from that Epstein list. We ain't got nothing yet. You had people out here regurgitating the flight logs. Just like I told y'all they was going to start doing. You had them out here speculating with Donnie T. Well, Donnie T was on the list. He was on the plane. Right? He was on the plane. I'm like, according to the investigators and Donnie T, he caught a ride from Mar-a-Lago to New York. He ain't go to the island allegedly. Not to mention him and Epstein got into a fallout over Epstein trying to fuck one of his employees' kid while he was there at Mar-a-Lago. He got kicked out of Mar-a-Lago. He kicked his ass out. Everybody making a big deal. Bill Clinton's on it. It's the associate list, not the client list. Clients, associates. I'm sure it's all one and the same. And I say it's all one and the same because, come on, guys, he was not a fucking financier. He wasn't like lucky in the stock market. He could videotape some Bill Clinton literally doing the R. Kelly, and he would still blame Trump for it. That's true. But the reason why I say it doesn't matter whether it's the client list or the associates list, he had one job. That's all he had to do was one job, and that one job was to get those people in compromising positions. To get them people in compromising positions. That's it. That was his job. He wasn't a lucky man on the stock market. The island, he didn't own that island. He didn't own the plane. He didn't own Zorro Ranch. He didn't own that spot out there in New York. He owned none of that shit. That shit was owned by some foreign faction or one of the alphabet agencies in conjunction with another alphabet agency. He was an agent, is what he was. He was an agent, and his sole purpose was to get rich and powerful people, the people that have influence, the people that can sway voices, or people that have the ability to run shit and get them in catch them in compromising situations. That was his job. That was his job. Robert Maxwell did it before him. That's just Ghislaine Maxwell's dad. And he got, they found him floating butt naked next to his own boat. Next to his own boat. And then Epstein had it. Common denominator is just Ghislaine Maxwell. I think she was Epstein's handler. That's just me. It would make sense. But he was an agent. He's an agent. That was his whole purpose. That was his whole job. Whether they were clients, whether they were associates, that was his entire job. Was to catch powerful figures in compromising situations. See, before, it used to just be good enough to catch a motherfucker cheating on his wife. Hold on, y'all. Hey. It used to be good that, it used to be good enough to catch a nigga cheating on his wife. Oh, I got you with Susie Rottencrotch over here. But then that shit started becoming, that was a dime a dozen. Who isn't doing it? You know what I mean? To, all right, now we got to get them doing some other shit. Cheating on your wife, hookers and blow wasn't enough anymore. So then they start catching them in compromised positions. Minors, children, shit like that. That's how you keep a motherfucker in line. No matter how powerful they are, that's how you keep a motherfucker in line right there. And that was his job. Whether you're a client or associate, I'm sure he got some dirt on you. Now, were there some people on that island? Because somebody made a really good point. Were there some people on that island that just went to the island just to hobnob and rub elbows and just to say they were there with the who's who of the zoo? Hey, I'm sure it is. You know what I mean? I'm sure it is. I'm sure Epstein was a fan of some people, some celebrities that he was like, hey, why don't you come on out to my island and have a good time? You know? But I'm sure some of those celebrities that went to go hobnob and rub elbows and all that other stuff, I'm sure they succumbed to the pressure. I'm sure some of them succumbed to the pressure. You know, I'm not saying Chris Tucker was out there messing with little boys and girls. You got Nerd Nash in the building. What's up, yo? Salute. Mr. Street says, fall guy when shit hits the fan. I'm just wondering if people know that Epstein was a small player in the grand scheme of things. He definitely was, yo. Until that becomes a dime a dozen. Yeah. They talking about the Epstein list, but they have Ghislaine in custody. It's a shame. Yeah. Yeah. It could very well be no, is there a list? I appreciate it, nerd. Appreciate you, sir. Salute the Nerd Nash. But yeah, like, who's the next Epstein though? You know he's been replaced already. You know he's been replaced already. Who is it? Like I said, Epstein replaced Robert Maxwell. So who replaced Epstein? Yeah, he did. That's true, Holden. Yeah, that's how you control people, yo. And I said that the other night, right? You go to that island, you ain't got no intentions on nothing, right? You ain't got no intentions on shit. You might not even have known, right? Oh, the Dalton School. I forgot about the Dalton School. Didn't Jamie Deluxe do something on the Dalton School? I feel like he did. I gotta look that shit up. But like I was saying, like, you might have went to this island, right? You don't know Epstein on the shit that he on, right? You just know that this rich white dude invited you to some island, and you know that he cool with all these other celebrities, right? And he probably reluctantly cool with these celebrities. Celebrities like, I gotta fuck with him before they put me out there, right? Guys need cellmate. Yeah, I think Jamie Deluxe did something on the Dalton School. I feel like he did. I feel like he did before YouTube got him. I believe it, Emmanuel. She did the whole Illuminati sex dance at the Super Bowl. The humiliation sex dance, or whatever the shit was called. But like I said, you get out there and you ain't got no intentions on doing nothing. You just think you hanging out on some private island with some rich white man who know all the major directors and shit like that. Steven Spielberg. They said that the guy Hank Azaria, the dude from The Simpsons, has been on that plane getting his feet rubbed by some underage tween, allegedly. But you there, you chilling, you having a good time, you drinking your mint juleps, you got your little mai tais, your margaritas, looking at all the little senoritas, and Epstein coming to you like, hey, I see you checking her out over there. I can make it happen. Oh no, no, I'm good. You sure? She says she's a big fan. A word? Mm-hmm. You looking over there. You don't even know she 13, 12, whatever age. I can make it happen for you. That's Jasmine. Let me introduce you. You go get introduced to Jasmine. Jasmine took you back to whatever designated room Epstein and gave her with some fucking hidden camera and a teddy bear or the fucking vents. You do the do with Jasmine. Now you compromise. Now you compromise. Now he got you in bed with a minor Hey, he come to you, ask for a favor. No, I can't do that. You sure? Remember that girl Jasmine, huh? You ever check her ID? Fuck you mean? Next thing you know, you on the hook. You are on the hook. That's how shit like that go. Yeah, Hank Azaria, he do a lot of them voices. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, that's how that shit be going down. You got people that went to that island just to do that shit, right? Because let's not forget all that pizza talk that Barry O was doing in the White House and the hot dog talk. All them codes that the FBI said was codes for pedophile shit. You think Diddy was the next Epstein? I just think Diddy was on some ill shit. I think Diddy was on some ill shit. I don't think they'd trust that to a black man. I don't think they're gonna trust that to a black man. You need a trustworthy face. Let me stop. I don't know though. It could have been. Maybe. Who knows? But trust and believe. Epstein wasn't some fucking lone gunman, for lack of a better term. He wasn't acting alone. He was acting on behalf of some faction, some government faction, or a few government factions. Hunter Biden told you about them codes. Don't give me the Hennessy prices. All that piece of talk makes me think about the Ninja Turtles and the Olsen twins movie. Oh Lord. People think that dude Orlando Brown is crazy. That's his name, right? Orlando Brown, the kid from That's So Raven. They think he crazy. He might not be all that crazy. He might not be all that crazy. Anderson Cooper went to the Dalton. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, he was like, I don't care what you say. Once CIA, always CIA. Yo, that other shit, the phone overheated. That's all. Anyway, so I got it on the air condition. But yeah, so I don't know who the next. It's going to be somebody. Somebody has to take his place, right? But now they're trying to normalize all this crazy shit, right? They're trying to normalize all this pedophile shit now. So what's the next sick thing that people going to start doing? Fucking cannibalism? Is that what the next thing is? One in the chat if y'all can hear me. One in the chat if I'm back. One in the chat if I'm back. One in the chat if I'm back. All right, cool. They're already doing anything you can think of. We just don't know everything yet. Yeah, I mean, they doing even if the shit ain't a real thing, they still doing like the fucking sacrificial shit. You got Marina Abramovich, is that her name? The spirit cooking lady. And remember the what was that? What was the documentary they did on Jay Z? That wasn't even a documentary. They did a documentary on Jay Z, but Jay Z did this concert live from an art gallery. Y'all remember that concert that Jay Z did live from the art gallery? So when he did the concert live from the art gallery, it was this crazy ass looking white lady that he was dancing with and rapping, and she doing all this crazy dancing and shit. Lo and behold, a few years later, or a decade later, it was Marina Abramovich, the spirit cooking chick. Apparently, Hillary Clinton's friends with this lady, and they do sacrificial shit. I guess she like a bruja. Is that what they call them? You know, Jay-Z and Beyonce cool with her. Apparently, she had Lady Gaga butt naked in the woods for a couple of days doing some kind of sacrificial shit. Same thing with Katy Perry. People really sold their souls, yo. People really sold their souls. So either you sold your soul, either you sold your soul, or you got caught in compromising position. Either you sold your soul willingly, or you put in a compromising position that keeps you on the hook for the foreseeable future until they see no, so they no longer see a use for you. She's Siberian. She's Serbian. All right, so that would make her a Bruja. What would that make her? Bruja is what, like Colombians or Spain? Whatever, you know. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Gaga butt naked in the woods sounds like shit she do under her own power. No, I'm just saying she did it under her own power. Like she did it because she wanted to be famous, I guess. She did it because she wanted to be famous. The same thing with Lady Gaga, Katy Perry. Like I said, anybody on them Rolling Stone covers covering up an eye and shit, they compromise, willingly or not. And I'm willing to say willingly. You got so many people that's so desperate to be famous. Sorry. You got so many people out here so desperate to be famous, so desperate to be desired, or they want that cash, that dollar bill, that they willing to do anything to get it. Including, if you want to talk about the Nickelodeon shit, selling your own kids. Selling your own kids. Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly, she came out and talked about that shit. Oh yeah. I seen the one video of Katy Perry, eye fucking malfunctioning or some shit, like she was an android. But they say it's from that. They saying people saying it's from that shot. But I digress. But yeah, I even think that movie was that movie that movie was crazy. Was it 8mm with Nicolas Cage back in the day? I think that movie was trying to blow a whistle on a lot of that shit. Story has it that Gaga friend was more talented. Oh yeah, we did a damn. I gotta, you know what? 2024 I'm gonna do better with like segmenting my shit and clipping things. We did a stream. You know how we do movie night. We went to that. Right, we went to that. We went to that video. Me and Jay, and we watched that. But I remember that before. I forgot the girl's name. Lady Gaga stole her entire persona and all that shit. Didn't she quote unquote like fall off a roof or some shit like that? The girl, and they try to say she was depressed and lonely and all this other shit. But she was Lady Gaga essentially, and Lady Gaga stole her persona, or the powers that be gave her persona to that girl. Yeah, our Kufis was on tight that night. Our Kufis was on tight that night. But yeah, come on, the powers that be, people in Hollywood, people in government, bankers, they can't let you get it. They can't let you get that big. They can't let you get that big unless they got a foothold on your ass. They gotta have some kind of fucking parachute on your ass to fucking pull the safety cord if you start getting out of line. You start thinking too much, you start questioning shit, you start bucking the system, you start to second guess being famous or the shit that's going on in Hollywood or whatever. Government, they gonna pull that ripcord. Lady Gaga was on MTV's Boiling Points. She was being groomed for a spot. Damn, I didn't know that. Lena, that's right, Lena Morgana. That was her name. Yep, she's a pretty girl too. Pretty girl. Where was she from? Wasn't she from like Russia or Serbia or some shit like that? Wasn't she from around that, like over there, the Eastern Promises area? He took the hip hop industry to a whole nother level with all these deaths. Man, that's all by design too. Why y'all think they let drill rap get so big? They want us killing ourselves or each other. They want us killing each other for clout. Apparently, some dude here in Baltimore got um, I think like Christmas Eve or something like that. Something Jug Bands or some shit like that. I don't remember his name. I don't know these people. Apparently, he got. They want us killing each other for clout. That's how they influence culture, yo. That's how they influence culture. That's why I would argue sometimes that Lena was friends with Gaga too. Yeah, Nicholas Clay saved San Francisco from a terrorist attack in 1996. But that's how they control the culture, man. Through music and fashion, and now social media. Black culture been hijacked. It's been hijacked a long time ago. Black culture is no longer black culture. It's no longer our own culture. It's been co-opted and it's been curated for us. It's been co-opted and curated for us. That's what's happening. It's been like that since NWA. And who been facilitating that shit? The landlord's been facilitating that shit. Jay-Z even said this shit in 444. Jay-Z said that shit in 444. I think it was the song O.J. Simpson. I think it was that song. Jay-Z said that shit in 444. Motherfuckers get mad at Ye. Like Jay said this shit too. They start influencing the culture. Lupe Fiasco before he fucking sold out. And I like Lupe, yo. He's one of my favorite artists, yo. It broke my heart when I seen him debate HJ on that Pfizer shit, on the vaccines and shit like that. Like damn, Lupe, I thought you would be on the side of us. You know what I mean? But what was that song? Never Lies, I think it was, on Food and Liquor. Like he just sits and listens to the people in the box. Everything he sees, absorbs and adopts it. That's what happens to our culture. These kids ain't got personalities. They don't got any swagger of their own. So they watch TV. They watch the TV. They listen to the radio. They look at social media to see what's the end thing, and then they try to adopt that and try to be that because that's what they're told black culture is. That's what it is. You know what I mean? It's just sad. You got Pooh Shiesty got motherfuckers wearing them masks. Kids just walking in stores with masks on. And I get it. Like back during like the height of COVID, you could get away with that shit. You can get away with it because they wanted everybody masked up. Kids still running around masked up with these Pooh Shiesty masks. And what they doing? You know, you got some of them just got the shit on just to have it on. Like I'll see kids with the Pooh Shiesty shit on, but they got it from here to here. You can still see their face and shit. But then you got the ones that's all masked the fuck up like fucking Ninja Gaiden. And they running up in stores and doing smash and grabs and shit like that. it. That's what we told. That's what our culture told us we can do. Or that's what the radio told us we can do. That's what the TV told us we should do. This is how we should act. This is how we are. This is what we are. I remember back in the day, I used to go to the club. I used to meet my homeboys at the club, right? And I pull up listening to like alternative fucking music. I listen to like alternative rock or something like that, right? Just because I got tired of hearing rap music all fucking day. I was driving a truck. I got tired of hearing the same song over and over and over again, right? Over and over again. So it might hit one song, and in 30 minutes, that same song back on the radio, right? They messed up your skin drip. But like, so I'll start finding other music, and then one day, a lot of you know, this is how I found like alternative rock music or like classic rock music. It's because of Kanye West, right? And this is why, because of Ye. I heard a song that he sampled on like a classic rock station. I literally pulled like a fucking I literally pulled a Spice Adams. I'm just scrolling through the channels, and the fucking I can't remember what song it is, but I hear the song come on, and I think it's the Kanye song, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I like the song. It wasn't him; it was the originator of the song. And I'm like, oh, but the shit was dope. So I'm like, damn, okay. So now I just started listening to the channel. I started hearing classic rock, and I started hearing more songs that were sampled by other producers. And I'm like, yo, the originals sound dope. And that's how I found classic rock. So I started listening to classic rock a lot. But I would pull up, right? I pull up to the club, and I still listen to everything else, 3 6 Mafia, shit like that, Baltimore club music. They like, yo, what the fuck is you listening to, yo? Yo, can't Brandon turn into a white boy, yo? I immediately turned into a white boy because I was listening to some classic rock, right? Or when I was in high school, right? My first car was a 87 5.0, 87 Mustang 5.0, fastback, Fox body, right? Sexy fucking car. If y'all know what that looked like, type in 5.0 Fox body. Shit was sexy back in the day. Y'all know what it looked like, right? It's basically what Kane had in Minister Society, but I had the hard top. I didn't have a convertible top. I thought the hard tops were better anyway. You know what I mean? But first thing they see when they see the car, the car was fucking fast too. I love that car. First thing they say, I'm actually looking to buy another one. Actually, I was talking to my neighbor. He got like two of them at his tow yard that he said he willing to part with. I might grab one of them joints and do a project. But I pull up to the school. That bitch shining. That bitch clean. Yeah, I had the black one, yo. Mr. Streets had a black one too. That shit was pumping 430 horsepower. 430 horsepower out of that car. That bitch I was 15. 15 and 9 months my father gave me that car. He was tripping. That bitch was fast. Anyway. First thing they go, yo, why you got this white boy car, yo? What you doing with this white boy car, yo? All right, damn, the Mustang a white boy car? Because back then, Crown Vics was the thing that you gotta have a Crown Vic. Everybody wanted a Crown Vic. Everybody wanted a Grand Marquis. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted a Monte Carlo. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, white boy car. This car is fast. It's a good car. Oh, you had the notchback. So I had the hatch. I had the fastback hatch. I'm getting another one, yo. My father was like, why you want that car? I said, cause it was fast and it was a fun car. I think it's one of the best Mustangs they ever dropped. It broke all the time. I was like, it did break all the time. I had my fucking foot in the gas. Still want that bitch. Everybody wanted them Vicks and shit, yo. They go to the police auctions, get that was everybody's thing, yo. Parent take them to the police auction, get them a Vic or a Grand Marquis. I think it was one dude at school. Parents actually bought him like a Mercury Marauder, but he had money and shit. Oh yeah, this is how I feel, right, about muscle cars in general. This is how I feel about muscle cars in general. Hopefully I don't offend nobody now. If it ain't a V8, don't fucking buy it. If it's not a V8, don't get it. Period. Right? Now, if it's a tuner car, I got you. But if it's a fucking muscle car and it's meant to be a V8, get the fucking V8 at least. You know, like if it's a Challenger, at least get the Hemi. You ain't got to get an SRT or a Hellcat or a Demon. Just get the Hemi at least. Get a Scat. Right? They're affordable. Mustang got to be a V8. You can't get a V6. And I don't like the 4-cylinder Mustang turbos. It's cool. They come with 330. Give me the 500 horsepower fucking 5.0. Give me the V8. And my sports car I got now. Oh, I mean, come on, y'all. Mr. Streets, see, you splitting hairs now, Mr. Streets. The Grand National is the exception. The Grand National is the exception to the rule. Okay? That's one car that's the exception to the rule, and that's the Buick Grand National. That car's a fucking beast. I knew a guy that had one of them bitches, right? We used to go down, we used to have import versus domestic, right? This back when I used to street race and stuff. So we used to go to this place called MIR here. I think it's in Waldorf, Maryland, right? This dude, I think his name was Avon. This dude had a beautiful black Grand National. I think the license plate said "Try Me" on it. Black Grand National, yo. He came up against this vet, Corvette, right? Corvette was done. It was a 10-second Corvette. The Corvette get up to the line. It's doing its burnout. It gets to the line, and it's sitting there. You can hear the vet, you know, just whoa, whoa. That thing sound, it just sound mean, right? Mind you, the vet is a lot lighter than that Grand National. He roll up slow. He do his little burnout real fast. He get to the line. All you can hear is this fucking turbo on this thing. You hear the vet, so when they staging, they get staged. You can hear the vet. Oh, you hear the fucking Grand National turbo start spooling. That's all you can hear over is the turbo spooling on this Grand National. The lights turn green. The vet takes off. The vet got halfway down the track. Oh, that's just, yeah, almost halfway down the track. He never left the line. When the vet got to a certain point, he launched that Grand National, and that motherfucker caught the vet, passed the vet, and ran like an 8. He ran like an 8-something in the Grand National. They kicked him off the track because he ain't had no roll cage in that bitch. He ran an 8. That was the only run he had that day. The only run he had that day. He ran like an 8-something in that Grand National. That shit was nasty. That Grand National was nasty work. Anytime he came out to race somebody, it came out on the trailer. He never drove it. It came out on the trailer. And we were all like, cause like back in the day, we would do like when we raced, we would do like, cause he had money. He was set. He had his own money to bet on his own races, but we would always do side bets. And then the guy who he was racing against, his people would be out there, and we'd be out there, and they'd be like, "Who want to take bets on the race?" And we'd be like, "Shit, Avon about to smoke his ass." So I'd be like, "I got 150. I got 200 on Avon. I got 200 on the Grand National," and we all put up the pot. I got 200 on the Grand National, right? So we all pool our money together. They pool their money together. We give it to a mutual person to hold it for the pot. And then he would just smoke the shit out of whoever it was. And then I might go home with $400, $500, $600 in my pocket that night. Just because that Grand National, yo. Just because of that Grand National. That Grand National was a monster. You right. The solid rear axle was some bullshit on that fucking on the Mustang. I can't hold you on that. I can't hold you on that. Yeah. Oh, he definitely was over 150 miles an hour. Immediately got booted from the track, yo. Immediately got booted from the track, bro. No joke. There's a spot in New Orleans that does racing like that, but on the street. When we say conservatives, are we talking about real conservatives or liberals pretending to be conservatives? I feel like real conservatives wouldn't complain about certain things and whatnot. I don't know. I'm starting to see um, quote unquote real conservatives start to complain about some shit. You know what I mean? I ain't talking about like Rob Smith, who like went on CNN and was like, "Oh, I was hated against at this bar." I ain't talking about him. You know. But yeah, dang, y'all taking me back, yo. I used to love street racing. You want to know how I learned how to race? So I knew my Mustang was fast, but I didn't know how to drive it. Right? It was a stick shift as well. Streets. I had a 5 speed. Right? I had to learn on that car. No, I'm lying. I learned how to drive 5 speed when I was 11. My grandfather had this old ass Hyundai Excel, right? Little hatchback Hyundai Excel, and he had this long ass easement by his road. I mean, by his house, and I would just go up and down this easement, practicing driving the 5 speed. Then I was like 12, and one day he made me drive from my mother's house in the city to his house out in Anne Arundel County. We took like the streets. We didn't take the highway. We took the streets, the back roads, right? Um, in this old ass Datsun. He had this old ass Datsun pickup truck. It was so embarrassing. That shit would backfire and some more shit, right? Because my grandfather ain't care. It was like his little work truck. So that's where I get it from. Like, I don't, this truck, if you see this truck, like, I need to repaint it. The fucking fog lights hanging off right now. Like, it's a work in progress, but I like old shit. Like, my sports car is nice. Y'all seen it. Y'all heard me drive it before. I love my car, right? I got another car, but I like driving this. But I digress. Um, so I learned how to drive on that, and then my father had me practicing in the Mustang. I didn't know he was gonna give it to me, but had me practicing in the Mustang. Them hard body mini trucks or tanks. Them hard boy mini trucks. Yeah, that yo he had, yo he, it was like a 70 something. But anyway, so learned how to drive the 5 speed, but I didn't know how to race it. So one day I was at my mother boyfriend house, and we playing Gran Turismo, right? We sitting there playing Gran Turismo, and my dumb ass, I'm I didn't know. I'm like, yo, I'm asking him. I'm like, how come the tack going red before you shift? He was like, well, that's how you race. You gotta max the gear out before you shift. And he's like, you don't know that? I'm like, nah, I ain't know that. So he was like, come on. So I get up, we get in my Mustang because apparently he used to have the same car. So we get up, we get in my car. We went to this highway that's like straightaway. It's a highway, it's a straightaway out in Limburny, Route 10, or is it 2? Route 10. And we got in. I'm going about 55, 60. You're like, all right, this what you gonna do. You're gonna drop it to third. He said the car gonna rear back on you. Don't panic. He said the car is gonna downshift, it's gonna rear back on you. He said just punch it. Just put your foot to the gas and hold on with both hands. I'm like, all right. So I get myself all ready. I dropped that bitch to third. That motherfucker said, woo, and I hit that gas, and that shit put me in my seat. And that bitch I'm at 60. I'm at 60 already. I put that bitch to third and hit the gas. That motherfucker got sideways and caught. Out. I was out. I went from 60 to like, on the old Mustangs, it only go to 85 miles an hour. That bitch went back to zero. The speedometer went back to zero. I was moving so fucking fast. I was coming up on shit so fucking fast. It was the coolest shit in the world to me at that moment because I ain't never moved that fucking fast before in my life. And then I let off of it, and then I had the speed bug back. I had the speed bug after that. I had the speed bug after that. Everywhere I went, I was fucking punching that shit. Motherfuckers want to race? Okay, let's go. Mustang put his foot in their ass. Except for when NSX got me. That NSX got my ass because we was on the highway and that bitch, the Mustang is only a quarter-mile car. The Mustang a quarter-mile car. That NSX stretched my ass. Pause. But yeah, those were the days back then. But I was called a white boy for having that car. You want to? You want to get a wide body scat? I mean, I like them. You want the what? The Challenger or the Charger though? Major pause. You want the Challenger or the Charger? My father got a I might drive it one day. My father got a he got an SRT Challenger. He got an SRT Challenger. It's not the wide body, but he got an SRT Challenger Core Edition, and it's got the 6-speed manual transmission in it. That's just fun. That's just fun with that 6-speed manual and that Challenger. Exactly, it was a Japanese Ferrari, and that car whooped my ass. Oh, and I got my ass whooped by my um, assistant principal in high school. I got my ass whooped by the assistant principal in high school. The darker green. My father got that plum crazy color. But so he had a 428 Cobra jet. So he had a 69 428 Cobra jet, right? And it was nice, had a patina on it and all that stuff. It looked like Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds, but it needed a paint job. So I don't know shit about the car. I just know I can drive my car now, right? I can drive. I know how to race. I ain't know shit about cars at the time. I'm still young. I'm 16, and I see Mr. Whitaker's Mustang out there. I'm like, Mr. Whitaker, what's that? He's like, that's a 420, 420. It's a 428, yeah, Cobra Jet, 429 Cobra Jet, 428 Cobra Jet, yeah. And I'm like, he's like, it's nice, ain't it? I said, man, that old ass car. I was like, it just looked big and slow. He was like, oh, you think so? I'm like, he's like, oh, he said, you think your little 5.0 can stay with that car? And I was like, yeah, my 5.0, like I said, my car fast, right? So we had a stretch, right? So at our high school, there was 3 parking lot lanes, and they were pretty long. So we started at the end of one, and I lined up with him. He's like, you sure? I'm like, Mr. Whitaker, get out of here. My car, I'm about to smoke you, right? I think we could only get to we probably would have only got in the second gear, maybe. You know what I mean? So I remember the school police officer flagged the race. That's how cool that shit was. The school police officer flagged the race, and when he put his hands down, I launched my shit. Mr. Whitaker launched his shit, and he got out like 5 cars on my ass off his launch. And he was at the end. He never left second gear. I mean, he never left first gear. He cleared the whole fucking. He cleared the whole length in first gear, and he had about 5 cars on me. I was embarrassed. I was like, damn. Then that's when I started getting in the cars and looking that shit up. I'm like, oh, I should have never tried his ass. Golly mighty. That was some fun times, I'll tell you that much. Fun times. Early 2000s, mid 90s was pretty cool times, yo. Pretty cool times. I'm an old man now. I'm 39 years old. Got a family. I'm riding around in a pickup truck. Gotta look like I'm about to go chop wood. Pause. But I don't mind it though. My friends wanted to go out for New Year's. I don't do that shit no more. I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. First off, I don't go nowhere I can't have my gun. Second, I don't want no problems. I wanted to take somebody's son out of here because he didn't care about my life. It's one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to put myself in the situation to have to do anything like that. It wasn't like that. And I mean, we had our crime issues here in Baltimore, but it wasn't nowhere close to what it is now back then. That's the crazy part. Brought back some good memories. I got to get my hands on the 10-speed 50 F-150s. Shit, is that a Raptor? The Raptor's what? The SVT was what, like a 5.7 or something like that? Was that what the Raptor was? The SV joint? I do remember the old 50. Did my brother got that? No, he got the Coyote engine. My brother got the Coyote engine. I think that's a 5.4, I think. This truck right here that I'm driving got a 5.3 in it. Yeah, I think it's like an LT motor or LS motor. I think it's an LS motor in here. But yeah, I do remember those 5.0 engines being in the F-150s. I didn't know there was 10 speeds though. Now they're going to 6-speed turbos. I know the new Raptors are 6-speed turbos. I mean, they put out good horsepower, but sometimes you want that displacement. Like I like the naturally aspirated muscle cars versus the boosted, the boosted shit. Why you delete Joe Beard? Hey Sauce, why you delete Joe Beard, yo? It's a single cab work truck. They slap a supercharger on the stock motor and make it 900 wheel. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm sure he ain't mean to do that, Joe. Oh man, what you were saying, Joe? Oh, the Lightnings was 5.0s. Was the Lightnings 5.0s? I thought they was 4.6s. Yeah, I thought the Lightnings was 4.6s. I know they was supercharged though. I used to want a Ford Lightning, yo. I did. I used to want a Ford Lightning. That supercharged Ford Lightning was a monster. They put out what? They put out like 400 horsepower. Was it 400 from the factory? I knew a couple guys that had one and they changed the pulley on them and a couple of things and that shit. And they tuned them. Them shits was making big horsepower. And they was super light in the ass. That Lightning was super light in the ass. That shit got they moved. I seen a couple of them beat a couple of cars. I used to like them Ford Lightnings. I wonder why. I guess we got the Raptor now. But then, like, I think Chevy tried to come up with that Chevy SS. Um, Dodge came out with the Rumblebee back then, trying to compete with the Lightning. Oh, 5.4 liter. Okay, 380 wheel. Shit, that's still nothing to sneeze at in that light ass truck. Oh no, it wasn't this. It wasn't the Rumblebee. They did have the Rumblebee truck. They had the Viper truck. Dodge had the Viper truck that came out to compete with the Lightning. That Viper truck was mean. The SRT10 Viper truck, man. Dodge knocked it out the park when they came up with the SRT series. You had the Crossfire, was the SRT6. Everybody wanted the SRT4 though. Everybody wanted that neon SRT4, including myself. I went to look for SRT4. I just didn't want to pay for because for the price of an SRT4, you could have bought an Evo. Yep, you could have bought an Evo. The SRT4 is fast though. The SRT4 was like I think it had 250 horses, but it was a light car, front wheel drive, turbo. It was a fast car, but the price point was still close to the Evolution. Somewhere around there. No, it wasn't. It was 25 grand for the SRT4, but for extra 5 grand, you could have got an Evo 8. So people wanted them Evo 8s. My homeboy had it as soon as it came to America. His father bought it for him. That shit was fast. I raced it. They gave me 10 car lengths, and this was when I had this fast Ford Probe GT. Matter of fact, you can ask him. He on YouTube. His name A6 Grind Time. A6 Grind Time on YouTube. He got a nice little channel. But he got the Evo 8 when it first dropped. It was 4 people in his car, including his father. His father was driving it. And we was at our little car club meeting, and he was like, who won a race? And I was like, I'm down. What's up, Montoya? So I knew my car ain't stand a chance. My car was fast. Like I think my Probe might have did 13s or something like that. I had the GT joint. It did like 13s or something like that. No, it did like low 14s, maybe 14 flat. And they gave me 10 cars, and I launched and I was out. And I thought I had him right because it was 4 people in his car. It was only 2 people. It was me and another dude in my car. And I'm coming up on the finish line, and all I hear is whoosh, whoosh, and he just fucking just shot past me like a goddamn rocket right before we hit the finish line. I was like, damn, that car. And then hit the exit at the same speed almost. That car, I was like, damn, that car mean. That car held the road. That 4-wheel drive was nothing to sneeze at on that Evo. I think when he was done with the car, I think he made like 650 horsepower in that car. I think it was to the wheels. I think it was 650 to the wheels almost. And then he sold it. Man, them Evo 8s and 9s had transmission issues, especially if you had 6-speed over the 5-speed. Yeah, he had a 6-speed. I know he rebuilt this transmission. Like he rebuilt the whole car, but he ended up selling it. He tried to sell it to me, but at the time I wasn't trying to pay that type of money. He was like, yo, I was like, how much you want for it? Like 27. And it was done. It was built. But it had like a stage 3 clutch. It was race ready. It wasn't a daily. I'm like, nah, I'm not paying 30 grand for, just for this car to not really do nothing. Like I wouldn't drive that car every day. It wasn't a daily driver. So I was like, no, I'm good. My dad has an SRT4 Stage 2 Turbo just sitting in the house. Are you serious? Wow. With the Stage 2 Turbo? Man, that's what's up. They was fast little cars, yo. They was giving people a run. They was definitely giving people a run. They ain't look bad either. They ain't look bad at all. And those were the days, yo. Those were the days. And then next thing you know, wife got pregnant, and then all that shit came to a halt. Like time to find a career and cut all this racing and shit out and stop getting speeding tickets and shit. I think I might have had like 3 speeding tickets in my lifetime. But yeah, I was like, time to chill all this shit out. My homeboy, like he still work on my cars too. Yeah, those Evos, if you start making some power and those transmissions with grenade. Yeah. My homeboy though, he still work on my cars though. My man Mark. I remember he built the 300 horsepower Honda Civic in his front yard. 300 horsepower Honda Civic in his front yard. He took a CRV motor, dropped it in a like a 96 Civic, turboed it, and that bitch was making 300 horsepower. Family man here too. I had to compromise and get a BMW X6. That's a hell of a compromise. That's a nice car. That's a hell of a nice car. Hell yeah, 300 horsepower Civic fast. That shit fast. It's light as shit. It's a 2,500-pound car, if that. Front wheel drive, that shit was nasty work. I think he raced it a couple times, sold it to somebody that wanted that shit because it was built. Then he bought this hell yeah, that X6 is quick. Then he bought a 240SX, hatchback 240SX. Turned that bitch into essentially turned that shit into a Skyline. He turboed that. I think he actually had a frame issue. But he turboed that, and if I'm not mistaken, this guy came out, I forgot, he raced some guy one night, and he smoked the dude. He shouldn't have beat him. Well, on paper you shouldn't have beat him, but that 240 SX smoked this guy, and the guy bought the car from him right there on the spot. Then he had the VR4 Mitsubishi 3000 GT or VR6. He had the Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR6 twin turbo. I was going to buy that from him because he was going to let it go for 800. He got it from this old lady, and he was like, "Yo, this engine hard to work on." And at the time, I think I had a few bucks. He said, "Yo, this engine is really hard to work on." He said, "I don't really feel like dealing with it like that." I was like, "Well, what's wrong with it?" I think he said it had like a gasket leak or something somewhere. He said it's hard to get to. He said it wasn't crazy, but he wanted to get to it. And he's like, "Yo, $800." Yeah, the same as the stuff. And I was about to buy from him, and then I kept taking my time. I was like, I'm gonna get it from him. And then he ended up selling it to this other guy. I think he wrecked that shit. But I was thinking, damn, I should have. It was all-wheel drive VR6. That bitch was pretty too. Cause like old people keep up with their shit. The car was nice. There wasn't nothing wrong with it really, as far as cosmetically. It was a nice car. It just was, old. I forgot what year it was. Yeah, I love some cars, boy. That's why I want to get this Mustang. That's why I want to get the 5.0. I know it's got its issues, but fuck it. Like I'm not gonna be out here dogging the bitch out. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna make it fast, and I'm gonna just drive it around on nice days. Probably sit under a tarp when I don't drive it. Put some historic tags on it. So my neighbor said it's a complete Mustang. It might just need some tune-ups and some gaskets and some shit like that here and there. So I'm gonna go check him out, see what he got. He said they Fox bodies, they fastbacks. So I'm gonna check it out. My cousin bought a car from him. Got it for a steal. He bought a '79 Firebird Trans Am from my neighbor. When I say for nothing, I'm talking. He bought it from him for $500. $500 is what he bought this Trans Am with the T tops, with the honeycomb wheels. $500, bro. $500. And he put $6,000 into it, maybe 7, into the car to get it back up and function and stuff. Car beautiful now, beautiful. I say, yo, you got a $30,000 car for $7,000, maybe $40,000 car for $7,000. That's a steal. He said his dad had one, and he wanted to get one like his dad had. My father had one too. Um, my father had he had like this navy blue one with this light blue interior, T tops. And during the stealth, I think during Desert Storm or the Gulf War, gas was crazy and shit, shit like how it is now, prices and shit through the roof. So my father sold the Trans Am, and the guy wrecked it that day. The guy my father sold it to wrecked that car that day. He sent that bitch into a wall because he couldn't control the power. He couldn't control all the horsepower coming off that car. My father said he was hurt, boy. He was like, damn. All the good days where you could give cars away basically for free. Nah, this was like 3 years ago. My cousin bought that shit like 3 years ago. Oh, he bought it just for COVID, like 2019 when he bought that car from my neighbor. $500. My neighbor was like, yo, just make me an offer. Because it was just sitting down there doing nothing. My friend's an all-white 5.0, but it's a drop top. Automatic. It's nice though. Got the got original everything? Man, that's crazy. Now, I want the hard top fastback. I'm cool with that. That's the one I want. I want the one I had when I was a kid. I know my neighbor got 2 of them. He got 2 of them. One of them I thought was mine, but he got 2 of them. Then I'm gonna just put the work into them. He said they complete, so I'm making my offer on it and put the work into it. So I got me a nice 5.0 back. And like I said, drive it on nice days. and just chill. Just chill. But yeah, those are the good old days, yo. Good old days. But yeah, that was my dad Mustang. He gave it to me. But before he had that one, he had a 93. He had a 93 5.0 that he had bought. Brand new. Candy apple red. That shit was fast. My uncle had he had both Cobras. He had a 93 Cobra and he had a 96 Cobra. That 96 Cobra was nasty work. What, 94? No, 96. When did they do the body change? I think it was 96, right? That was nasty work. That 96 Cobra. That shit was fast. It was a beautiful car. 5.0. And but yeah, somebody ran into him and crashed that shit. Like, damn. But yeah. And apparently my grandfather was a street racer back in the day. He had a Chevelle. I heard his Chevelle was the thing to beat on the streets. He was whooping everybody's ass with that Chevelle back in the day. That's why I always wondered when like I would break my car racing. My grandfather would fix that shit. Like I would just say, "Pop, yeah, I blew an axle, the front axle." He'd be like, "All right." He come tow it with his tow truck, take it to a shop, fix that shit every time, every time. And I never understood why until I met one of my good friends. Met one of my good friends named Chase. And his father was telling me about my grandfather. He was like, "Yeah, your grandfather. We both come from South Carolina." He's like, "Your grandfather, me and him used to race back in the day. He had the Chevelle that nobody could beat." I was like, "Oh," I said, "That's why Pop be always fixing my shit." Probably took him back to the good old days. My grandson out here doing the same shit I was doing. Probably why he did all that. Those are good days, yo. Now, I can barely afford gas. I filled this truck up yesterday. $80. $80 to fill this truck up yesterday. $80. Making life decisions at the grocery store right now. Used to be I just go in the grocery store and just whatever. I'm gonna go throw this in the cart. Throw this in the cart. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try that. Now, I literally gotta go in the grocery store with a calculator and add shit up as I'm walking through, picking shit out, putting it in the cart. I'm looking at coupons and shit. That's how crazy shit got now. Like, it's crazy how just 6, 7 years ago, $70 at the grocery store take you a long way. $100 take you a long way in the grocery store just a few years ago. Now, man, they got damn, that TRX is fire. Damn. Anyway, so now it's like now everybody making life decisions no matter where you go. No matter where you go, you got to make a life decision. You got to figure out what you're going to do. Do I fill my tank up all the way? Because think about it, right? Like I just said, I just put $80 in this truck. Now I'm fortunate that I can do that and stuff like that, right? But you got some people that can. It's like, yo, do I put 20 in the tank and then go spend 40 at the grocery store? You know, do I put 40 in the tank and spend 40 at the grocery store? Or, you know, do I just put $10 in the tank, spend 40 at the grocery store, then keep the rest for a rainy day? Like, that's what you got people doing right now. Let me tell you what went up. Let me tell you what went up under the Nichols Strick administration. Hold on, what's it say? A buddy of mine's mom had a 5.0 Mustang Interceptor. That car scared shit out of him. The Interceptor was the cop engine. Yeah, yep. They still got the Interceptors around here, the police Interceptors. But yeah, people making all these life decisions. People can't afford that stuff. Like, you got people who can't. Like, I'm fortunate. Like I said, you know. But people can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna put $80 in my tank and go spend another 180 at the grocery store." But let me tell you what went up, right? car insurance for most people has gone up like a couple of $100, right? People's gas and electric bills have gone up a couple of $100, right? Groceries are crazy, and the gas prices are still nuts. Interest rates, can't nobody afford housing right now. No, I mean I ain't saying nobody can afford a house, but if you go buy a house right now, you know it's a hassle. It's a huge hassle. Like you want to buy a $400,000 house and have a 7% interest rate on your house? That's crazy. Can't nobody afford that shit. Most people can't afford the rent. A place that might have cost $1,000 a month now costing $1,600 a month just to rent. That's not including utilities. We need a regime change. We need change, period. We can't have a new boss same as the old boss. Mr. Street says they know you can't afford it. Sell it to you, pay you for it a few years. I mean, pay for it a few years and in hopes they can get it back from you. Yeah, pennies on the dollar, right? Has a list come out yet? I was right about Gary Coleman. Was I right about Gary Coleman? No, the list ain't come out yet. I don't think they're gonna drag that list out until they really need a Hail Mary. I don't think the list gonna come out no time soon. Maybe what's the day? Wednesday. It might come out Friday. Maybe they'll give it Friday as a distraction or Thursday as a distraction for the weekend while they do some other shit. But like I said, it's just speculation. And then at the end of the day, does that list really matter? Does that list really matter to the real powers? I don't think so. Maybe they get a few celebrities in trouble, but the people that really, I guess, matter, for lack of a better term, the people that run the world have say so. It won't affect them not one bit. It's just something for us to clamor over, something for us to talk about while the tail wag the dog. That's all it is. Oh man. Anyway, I'm gonna get in here and do some work. Catch me tonight, 8 p.m. guys. 8 p.m. Remember the new time change. Catch me tonight at 8 p.m. Canon Hotep channel on YouTube, Canon Hotep channel on Rumble, or X at Canon Hotep on X. 8 p.m. live stream. Canon Speaks. Don't forget, if you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. Please share the stream, guys. Anyway, till later on, it's Canon Hotep saying, be safe, stay strapped, don't miss. I'll holler at you.